What's good, YouTube? It's the Gem. What's going on, man? What's going on with y'all? Look, I woke up feeling inspired today from this guy right here. His name Owen Hanson. He got a new doc out on Prime. It's called Cocaine Quarterback. I watched this doc last night and I'm like, yo, this story is crazy. I got to make a video on this. I have to. I got to share it with people that haven't seen it because this story is inspiring as hell. So this dude was a volleyball player, right? He was a volleyball player at USC. He was taking steroids because he couldn't make the USC volleyball team. He got kicked off the team. He starts taking steroids. Long story short, he gets big as hell. One of the trainers is like, yo, try out for the USC team. He's never touched a football a day in his life. He ends up walking on the USC team with Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Lendell White, Pete Carroll, all these legendary coaches. They won 2 national championships, and he walked on the team. And he ended up being a kingpin. He ended up being an international kingpin, Australia, Mexico, working for the Cartel. All crazy shit. His story is nuts, bro.
In the early 2000s, the USC Trojans were a college football dynasty. What was their secret? Their All-American quarterback, their electrifying running backs, or some guy who rode the bench named Owen Hanson?
Yeah, Owen, he may not have done as much on the football field, but he was probably the MVP outside of the Coliseum walls. Turns out that Owen
he ended up making millions of dollars like everyone else on the team that went to the NFL.
Was smuggling steroids.
If you're like, I want 3 pounds of frankincense, he's like, I got a guy.
He drifted into some darker pastures.
Say hello to my little friend.
He's a national champion at USC, turned Kingpin.
They've been described as villains worthy of a Martin Scorsese film.
Flew in private with like 40 keys of heroin.
This shit is a literally Martin Scorsese film. Scorsese need to pick this up. His story is incredible, bro.
Coke, guns.
Like 50 kilos in the trunk of my car.
I didn't ask questions because I didn't want to know.
Just seeing that nuts went, yeet! I was already planning who I was going to hit first.
What's the Pennsylvania law against defacing a tombstone?
They were stupid idiots. His business partner was the Sinaloa Cartel.
That's crazy, right?
He did say, the less you know, the better.
I regret the day I met
That's what you gotta tell the Johns when you miss some shit.
this guy.
He lost the money and he panicked about it.
If you with me,
This dude a rat. He ended up snitching on him. He had him launder money for him, and then he ended up ratting on him. This story is crazy, dog.
I'm coming for you. But other than that, I'm a nice guy.
He just went full steam ahead as if this was a major at USC. Drug, empire, kingpin. Let's do that.
My name is Owen Hanson, federal inmate number 50825.
This dude could have been anything he wanted to be, bro. He didn't have to. He could have been a CEO for a Fortune 500 company. He could have worked for DraftKings. He could have been a CEO at FanDuel. Like he was a bookie. He had his own bookie website. Everything. Look at him. He looked like fucking Channing Tatum and Zac Efron. He looked like a fucking actor. He don't look like no kingpin. His story, bro.
I'm some surfer kid from Redondo Beach. What have I gotten myself into?
Crazy. I watched this shit last night, and I gotta get this shit a 10 out of 10. I don't care if it's 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I need to see a Hulu miniseries, a Netflix miniseries with actors. I need to see something. A miniseries, a movie. I need to see this acted out because the way this story is told, the doc was good as hell. It was a little too short. Should have been longer. And I need to see this shit acted out because this shit crazy. Got everything a movie needs. American football, drugs, sex, steroids, cartel, Mexico, international, white dude as the face. You can get a fucking good-looking actor to play him as the role, and that shit gonna go up. That shit gonna go up, y'all. Y'all gotta see this shit. So let me break down his story for y'all.
Much of the grandfather's Toyota Camry he gave to me when he passed, it was 1989. And I got in that car and I drove down to the Tijuana border. From Redondo Beach, I said, hey, Spanx, you want to go down to... I remember calling a friend from Redondo. I guess I'm going to Tijuana. So I remember down.
So he got kicked off the volleyball team. He didn't make the USC. Well, he's at USC on a scholarship for the volleyball team. They tell him, hey, you need to work on your arm strength, your vertical if you want to make the team next season. Figure it out. You got 3 months. So he's like, fuck, he don't know what to do. So he goes to a ripped ass dude in the gym. Yo, how I get big? I'm trying to work on my arm strength, blah, blah, blah. You willing to do anything? I'm willing to do anything. Tell me what I got to do. You want to do some illegal steroids? You want to try to do whatever? I'm trying to do whatever. All right? Go down to Tijuana. Go to the Farmacia. You got everything you need down there. Get swole. Get right. Bring it back. He's like, all right, shit.
And I said, all right. I guess I'm going to Tijuana. So I remember calling a friend from Redondo Beach. I said, hey, Spanks, you want to go down to Tijuana with me? He was Mexican, so I figured I might as well bring a Mexican with me so we can speak a little Spanish down there. And he says, yeah, why not? Let's go. So I got in this car. I had my grandfather's Toyota Camry he gave to me when he passed. It was 1989. And I got in that car and I drove down to the Tijuana border. And I remember getting there. And I go to this Farmacia that the bodybuilders told me about. I wasn't sure if I was at the right spot, you know. I'm like looking up and I get in there. There's like 6 bodybuilders in there. I go, okay, this is the spot. And I give the lady the list. She goes, yeah, we have all that. And I was like, oh, fuck, how am I going to get it back? This is illegal, you know? So I'm thinking, man.
How do you not think of that before you go to Mexico? Before you go to Mexico, you don't think of, how the fuck am I going to get this shit back?
Well, I got my compressor shorts on from USC volleyball. I said, do you guys have any, maybe like some kind of tape or gauze I can use? And she gave me some medical tape and some gauze. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't think they're going to check my privates, so I'm gonna tape up. So I'm strapping it up and I'm taping it on my legs and wrap the gauze around and pull up my compressor shorts and I go.
You've never been to Mexico in your life, and the first time you go there, on the way back, you're gonna try to smuggle some shit and just tie it on your shit and just, well, I never heard them searching anybody's private parts. I should be good. You know how risky that shit is, cuz?
But my boy Spanks, I go, how do I look? He goes, what do you mean? I said, can you tell I got anything on me? He goes, no, you look fine. So we went to Papa's and Beer, had a couple drinks and some tacos, and I calmed the nerves. I said, well, let's go back across the border because I'm kind of nervous and I want to get this over with. So we walked back across, and I remember the customs agent said, are you guys bringing anything back? And I'm thinking to myself, fuck. I'm about to lie right now. I've never lied in my life. You know, my dad's taught me very strict morals and ethics. And I told the officer, no, I'm not bringing anything back. He says, come on back. Welcome to the United States. And right then and there, Mark, I remember, I still have goosebumps right now as we talk about it. I said, wow, what a rush that was.
That's
that
crazy.
was the first taste of illegal activity for me. That's where the smuggling began.
So that's where his shit started. That's where he got that first rush of, ooh, I can get away with some shit. That felt crazy. Let me keep trying that shit. And that led to him dealing drugs on campus, to him becoming a bookie, to him having a cartel become a client from him doing sports bets, to him being recruited from the cartel to sell coke for them. His story crazy. Let's get into it. His story crazy, y'all.
At a young age, and that rush is what I chased all the way until I became an international drug kingpin. And I just wanted more. I wanted that feeling was better than any spike I've ever hit, any wave I've ever caught, any 40-yard dash I've ever ran.
Damn.
That feeling right there was euphoric. And I chased it for the rest of my life until I landed in federal prison.
That's some shit.
We dropping gems on them, baby.
That's a lesson within itself. Don't get too high, don't get too low. My parents always told me stay right here. So once he got hyped that, all right, once he realized, all right, I can smuggle drugs into the US, I can get big, I can make the volleyball team. What's he start doing? He start pumping. He get in the gym. He on his juice. He pumping. He swole as shit now. He big as shit. He's like 19 at the time. He in college. Swole as shit on the juice, trying to make the volleyball team. Mind you, he's never touched a football a day in his life. One of the athletic trainers comes up to him. Hey, yo, you big as hell. Why don't you come try out for the football team? The football team, the national championship team with Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart and just won a national championship with Carson Palmer and all this shit. That football team? I never touched a football a day in my life. What you got to lose? You big as hell. Just try. So he goes to try out with the football team. He goes to try out with the football team with all junior college All-Americans, high school All-Americans, all nice niggas that have played football their entire lives. He's never touched a football, but he's on roids. It's him playing for the trying out for the team.
Any athlete can do it, And then I remember they did the vertical jump where you jump and see how high, and it was like 36 inches, 37 inches, and the third one was like 38 inches. So you're starting to see the coaches like kind of like whisper, like, who is this guy? And then they had Steve Sarkisian throw a few routes to
That's
everybody,
a high-ass vert,
and
y'all.
I think they threw 5 balls, and I caught 3 out of the 5. First time I've ever caught football.
He's in front of Pete Carroll, Steve Carson. He's in front of Pete Carroll, all these legendary coaches trying out to walk on to USC football team, bro. This is nuts.
So I was like, okay, well, I'm all right. I'm over 500 right there. So let's see what's next. And it was the 40-yard dash. And I said, I'm pretty fast right now. This windstill's got me where I need to be. I said, I'm lean, I'm strong. I said, let's do it. So I'm like the second to last guy. Everyone's already ran, and you got all the coaches with their stopwatches. And I get down on my 3-point stance, and I'm just like, and they're boom, 4-6, and everyone's looking at like, this Coach Carroll's like, send him back. He there's no way he's 4'6". This guy's 240 pounds. There's no way. Send him back. Do it again.
6'3",
so they
240. Busky.
I'm like, fuck, I got to do it again. I'm not a bad. Fuck, I got to go again. And come on, Hanson, go again. So I get down in my stance again. I'm like, bah, 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 bah. Boom, 4.62. They're looking at the stopwatch and they're like, holy shit! Now you see everyone talking. And I'm like, fuck, I think
this is crazy.
They dug it. They like what I did, and they're like, all right, everyone, let's go to the gym. We got to finalize with the bench press.
This where he get hyped.
Bench press. I said, oh, these guys have no fucking clue what they're about to see right now. They don't know that I'm on the sauce, So I get down there and I'm watching everyone.
y'all.
I said, I can't wait to show them this. And I get down there and I get the 225, which is 2 plates, and I'm just bouncing it off my chest mark. And you'd think I'm just fucking Hercules. And it's like nothing. And they're like, oh, no, man, 21, 22, 23, come on, motherfuckers, 24, 25, 26. And I said, racked it. I probably could have got 3 more. And I just racked it. And I got up, I grabbed my towel, and I left. I was done.
Oh, he popped it.
You see all these guys going, like the fucking coaches are scratching their chins. And they're like, who is this fucking kid? And Coach Char's over there telling him I'm the volleyball player that just got redshirted. I didn't think anything of it. I said, it was cool. I tried out for the USC football team. It's something I could tell my kids later on in life, And goes a week or so goes by, and Coach Char says, hey, Hanson, did you ever check the list that came out today? I said, no, I didn't check that list. I said, what am I going to check the list for? I'm a volleyball player, coach. I can't play football. He said, Hanson, just go check it. What do you got to lose? I said, fuck. So I'm walking up the stairs in Heritage Hall, and I'm going to Coach Carroll's office, and I see all these disappointing faces, coming out, and all the guys I just tried out with last week, they're all pissed. You can tell they're bummed. And I get up there, I said, well, it looks like there's one name, and I look. I said, fuck, am I looking at that right? I said, Owen Hanson. He was on the USC football letterhead. I made the fucking USC football team.
Never touched a football.
I couldn't believe it. I remember I was like, man, is it April Fool's? Like, is this a joke? Like, I ran back downstairs. I said, Char, is that for real, man? You guys fucking with me? And I didn't believe it. I've never played the game in my life. How the hell did I just walk onto a national championship football team? You got to remember, this is the team that just won the Orange Bowl the year before with Carson Palmer.
crazy.
The year I made the team, we won the Rose Bowl for a national championship. The next year, we won the Orange Bowl for another national championship. So I played on 2 national championships, the last 2 national.
He was a backup tight end. He didn't play. He rode the bench the whole time, but still, this is still a crazy experience. He built mad connections through USC. He turned this shit into, he was in a frat, so he turned all these connections, because he's a kid, he didn't really grow up rich. So all these kids at USC were driving Porsches, driving Mercedes, all this shit. They went off to the NFL, making millions and millions, crazy jobs, all this shit. So he felt, after he graduated, he felt stuck. He got a little job that was cool, but he figured out how to become a bookie. He became a bookie and started running it up, using all his USC clients, started running it up. So everyone started owing him mad bread. So he ran a bookie site, and from there, he got a client that was putting in bets on his bookie site, got in the hole with him, and then the dude won a bet. He paid him the next morning to keep good customer service, right? So if you a bookie, you want to have the best customer service. You don't want to wait till Thursday, Friday to pay somebody. You want to pay them as soon as you can so they keep betting with you. So what did he do? He paid him the next morning, right? Who was that person? He was like, that person was like, I like how you do business. I got an offer for you. And sent him a phone. Sent him an encrypted phone. The dude worked for the cartel. After that, he started picking up money for him, started doing all this shit for him, and it got crazy from there. Buddy turned to El Chapo from there.
Championships USC's ever had. You know, I was a part
of it. He was serving on his campus too. He wasn't serving crazy though. He was just serving like little gram bags getting them from the Mexicans in Cali, where he was from, bringing them to campus. So he was doing that on campus and shit too, helping people with getting steroids and shit like that. So he wasn't on Kingpin level, but he was just like your regular. We all know somebody on the campus doing that shit right now. Feel me? So he was just doing that shit early in the early 2000s when it wasn't as popular. So he ran up doing that. He wasn't like recruited from the cartel he was running up at USC. It wasn't like that. It was even crazier.
A dynasty.
What position?
I was a tight end, a walk-on tight end.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the business is starting to boom. People are talking about, man, he's got dealers with their tops off. He's giving 20% off on free play. He's giving you 5% free play, 20% off your losses. Everyone's like, man, bet O-Dog, bet O-Dog. I became this international name. And it just snowballed. It got so big, I started taking bets from Mexico. I started taking bets in Peru, Costa Rica. I went international, Australia.
That's where them boys gonna find you.
Oh yeah. And I remember I had this agent that lived in Orange County, and he says, I got a VIP customer that's gonna deal with all cash. He's like clockwork, but he wants big limits. I'm like, well, you trust him? He goes, oh, I trust him. And you gotta remember, I was so ambitious at the time. I was willing to take anything. I had big balls. I didn't care how much. You wanted to bet $500,000 on the Super Bowl. I was going to figure out a way to take the bet, even if I was going to offset it with my old company, where I could take half of the bet and bet the other half over here. I wanted that person that was betting with me to feel like I was the man the whole time.
That's smart as shit. So if you're a bookie taking $500,000, knowing that you can't pay the full amount if he wins, so you take $250, you take half of it and bet the other side. If it's the Patriots and the Eagles in the Super Bowl and he bets the Patriots, you take the other half, you bet the Eagles, therefore you get some money back either or if he wins, so you can help yourself pay that bet.
So they would never leave. So if a guy said, I want to bet $500,000 on a Super Bowl game, guess what? I'm going to take the $500,000 bet, but little does he know that I'm laying off half of it over here with a bigger outfit. So I just started to provide that service, and this agent of mine, which is a sub-bookie, he had a lot of clientele out of Mexico. And he said, I got a client. He's a bad motherfucker. He pays, but he expects the same. I said, bring him. You know? He's like, he's VIP. I said, I've heard it before. Bring him.
This is where the story starts. This is where the story starts, right here. This is where the story starts. This shit get crazy. This is movie shit. So you a corporate dude. You haven't done anything too too crazy. Well, yeah, yes, he has. Let me run that back. This is where the story starts. This is where the movie starts. This is where shit get crazy, y'all. He's like, all right, I've had VIP customers before. I'm a bookie. I got big money. I got big nuts. What? He want to get wined and dined? You want somebody to suck his dick? What? He VIP? He bet big money? It's no problem. Bring him through. I've had big clients my whole life. And watch what happens.
VIP, what's that mean? Like, we got to wine and dine him? Like, whatever we got to do. So the first week, the guy loses $250. He brings a duffel bag. Boom. I gave him his half. I think it was $200 or $250. It was around that number. I gave him his 50% commission because this was a big agent. He had like 75 players with me. Next week, same thing. He loses, I think, like $300,000-400,000. Boom. Give the agent his half. I take my half. And this guy's just a donkey. He can't hit the side of a barn. You know, he can't win a sports bet. So I'm like, you got a VIP client, man. Whatever he wants, let him know. This is how these sports books feel about us, y'all. FanDuel and DraftKings just be looking at us like, these niggas is some donkeys. They can't hit shit. This nigga's having a terrible week. We got him. If he wants to come into Madeo, Mr. Chow's, we got him. Like, what does he want to do? He's like, no, he's not coming to the U.S. So I'm thinking, who is this guy? Finally, he wins. He cracks me. He hits a 5-team parlay on a Sunday night. He needed the Raiders. And we go to pay him out. I think it was like $225 or $250. I called the agent. I said, buddy, get here Sunday night. Your guy's going to win. And guess what? I need you here. I got the duffel bag ready. I want you to pay him on Monday morning, 8 a.m. right when he wakes up. I said, no exceptions.
Smart business.
So he comes and I give him the bag. I said, please do this. This is what our name is about. If we pay a customer on Monday, he's going to forever gamble with us because we are paying him. No one does that in the sports betting industry. Usually a guy slow pays you and waits till Thursday to pay you because he wants to collect all the money from the losers.
Could you imagine back then winning a bet? You smack a bet tonight. You don't get that shit the next 15 minutes, the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes. You got to wait till Thursday. You smack a bet on Monday, you got to wait till Thursday for the bookie to send it to you. We some spoiled ass niggas right now. I ain't gonna lie.
So I made sure we paid him. Come Monday, he pays him. Boom. He's like, dude, my uncle was so happy. I said, your uncle? He goes, yeah, I didn't tell you, but that's my uncle. And he was so happy. I said, well, that's good. He was so happy he wanted me to give you this phone. I'm like, a phone? It was an encrypted BlackBerry. I said, what's this? He says, there's no microphone. There's no GPS. He says, it's just connected to my uncle's server. I'm like, oh boy, what have I gotten myself into? He said, my uncle's so happy he wants to communicate with you, but he's only going to communicate with you on this. I looked at it, BlackBerry, huh? So I'm opening it. Here's the password. He gives me a piece of paper and I enter
an encrypted phone, no microphone, no GPS, can't call. You can only encrypted text through a dark web server. It's his next level. This nigga was living like some GTA shit.
Password. And the first line was, Wedo, I like how you work. I'm like, oh boy, you're speaking Spanish now. So I said, oh.
He is off that shit right now. You my man, Owen. I fuck with your story, but you are definitely fried right now, my boy.
Muchas gracias. You know, I've dated Latina ladies my whole life. I know how to speak Spanish. So I said, muchas gracias, mucho gusto, senor. You know, nice to meet you. I said, me llamo Owen. Yo soy de Los Angeles, un bookie de betodog.com. He's like, Wedo, you do great business. He says, you have a lot of money in the United States, I can tell. You paid me like clockwork. He's telling me this, like I paid him on time. Yeah, that's how I run my business. You know, I'm very punctual. I do things the right way.
Again, another choice. Imagine if he was just like everybody else and just, all right, wait to collect my money from the losers, pay you out on Thursday, good doing business, hope you keep betting with me. Bet-o dog. Nah, he want to make sure his branding, his presentation, everything, word of mouth is on point. That shit goes a long way. How people feel about you, your brand, and nowadays we are on personal brand. So just keep that in mind with how you interact with people and how you, feel me, how you treat people. He paid him out the next morning. Then he got recruited from the cartel from that shit. That's crazy.
You know, I'm explaining this to him. And he says, listen, I have an offer for you. He says, I have stash houses all throughout the United States. I need money dropped off here sometimes. I need it over in San Bernardino. I have a stash house in Corona. I have people in North Carolina that work for me. I'm thinking, okay, what do you need? Like, he's like, sometimes I need like 50, 100,000 over here. I'm like, oh, that's easy. I got agents throughout the United States now. Bet O-Dog's international, but nationwide mostly. So for me, it's just a phone call. Like, hey, Johnny, can you drop off 50,000 in North Carolina at the Starbucks? And the catch was this. Every time I dropped off money for, we'll call him El Jefe. Every time I dropped off money for El Jefe, he would give me 10% of whatever I dropped off. So I'm making 10% a day, Mark. If I drop off 100,000.
This is where you created monster. This is where the monster was created, right here.
Of whatever I dropped off. So I'm making 10%.
Let me go back.
He would give me 10% of whatever I dropped off. So I'm making 10% a day, Mark. If I drop off 100,000, guess what? I just made $10,000 for doing nothing. I mean, what bank pays you that?
Crazy.
So next thing you know, I'm helping this guy. I don't care. He's losing so much money. Like, I'll do whatever he wants. He's the VIP. I'm helping him. I'm helping him drop off money here, there. He's happy. He's loving the way I handle things.
How long does this ride last?
The ride lasted for a few more years.
Damn.
You know, I started taking bets from the most infamous cartel in the world. And when you're working with the cartel, it's hard to say no, you know.
I bet, shit.
You're making 10%.
That money.
But what if the cartel told you can make $1 million in a day? 25 years old at this time, $1 million sounds pretty good to me. You know, I came from that son of a construction worker, that broken family. So $1 million, I mean, what do I got to do for $1 million? And that's where I started expanding my portfolio, I'd say.
Crazy.
And he says, you got to do the same thing you're doing now, but in Australia.
International Kingpin.
Australia. He said, do you know anyone in Australia? So I go to my Rolodex. 3 months later, I tell him I do have an aunt. I just realized I have an aunt in Australia. She's in Perth, and I have an uncle over there. They've been living there for 30 plus years. He says, Wedo, you're going to be going to visit your aunt and uncle. I'm like, oh, is that right? And $1 million a day sounds pretty good to me. And go to visit some family. This should be interesting, you know. I'm thinking, what do I got to do? He says, you got to figure out a way to sell cocaine. He says, I already have the cocaine there. I have a ton, which is 1,000 kilos. It's the best cocaine in the world. It came from Colombia. It's 95% grade.
Y'all gotta remember, he doesn't sell. He's not in the coke game right now. He's just picking up money, dropping it off. He's a bookie that got some connects, rich dude that kind of knows how to put pieces together, knows how to, you know what I'm saying, cut corners, know how to figure some shit out. So he just recruited him on some runner shit. This is just testing him. See that he money hungry. Now it's like, we got him. You want to make $1 million in a day? I need you to do exactly what you're doing now with coke in Australia. You want it or not? And he knows he's not going to say no.
And you have to move it. I said, listen, I've never moved anything more than a gram, let alone a fucking ton. There's no way. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, there's no way, right? Like, but Mark, what have I been doing my whole life? I've been resilient. I've figured out a way to put that block into that square, because even if it doesn't fit, I'm going to figure out a way to get it in that square, because that's what I do. This is what I enjoy. I enjoy putting people together.
You got to learn from people
together.
like that.
It's like a puzzle.
You got to learn from people like that, even through their fuck ups. Like, take their good traits, follow people that have been successful. Yeah, they might slip in certain areas, but take people's good traits and add them to your bag. Same way with a basketball player, your favorite football player. You don't got to play exactly like them. You're never going to be exactly like LeBron, exactly like Mike, exactly like Kobe. Take his, feel me? Add your own shit to it like Shay. Dig me?
Life's like a puzzle for me. So I go to my contacts at SC. I'm thinking of everybody I know. I'm really good at remembering people's background. And I remember when I was playing at SC, there was a guy on the baseball team that said his brother was in the weed game. And I remember this. This is, fast forward, this is like 7 years after college, 6 years. And so I go to this contact at SC, and he's like, hey, what are you doing calling me? I said, man, you told me a long time ago your brother was in the weed game. Do you think I can meet him? He's like, why do you want to meet him? I said, I need to speak to him about something on the international level, and he might have the contact. He said, listen, it's funny you say that. My brother lives in San Diego, and his guy that was involved in the weed game, the head honcho, is actually visiting him now. And they're playing in this racquetball tournament in San Diego. I said, well, can I go meet him? He goes, yeah, the guy's really old. He's like 60-something years old. He's an Italian guy, and he's just visiting from Italy. I'm like, fuck it, let's meet him.
Gotta be a go-getter. You gotta ask questions. You have to. That's all I see. I read between the lines with everybody. I study a lot of people. I study people's stories, and I'm just like, damn, what's the common denominator? People ask questions. Go get her. Get off your ass. Do something. Try something. Figure something out. If that square does not go into that, if that block doesn't go into that square, you gotta figure it out. Turn that shit. Put it sideways. Shave some shit off the side. Do something to figure it out. That's what winners do.
I go and I meet these contacts, and I told them, hey, I played football at USC and volleyball, and I know your brother from the baseball team, and I'm just kind of breaking the ice. And I heard about you, and this is this Italian gangster. I'm like, hey, my name's Owen. Nice to meet you. And he tells me his name. We'll just say it's Louis. Hey, Louis, nice to meet you. And, I don't know the lingo. You got to remember, I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not someone that knows, like, you can't talk about this stuff. Like, you can't just go up to someone and start talking about it. It's going to scare them.
What's up, Uncle Louis? Yeah, I got 10 kilos in Australia. Can you help me with it? Like, whoa, I don't know what you talk about, nigga. Pipe down, go somewhere. I'm Italian. Talk to me. Like, nah. And he's little 25, or you probably think he's a Fed.
Scared Louis. And Louis told me straight up, he said, listen to me. He says, we are not going to talk about anything on U.S. soil. He says, I've been involved in this business for a long time, and I do not trust the U.S. He says, if you want to come talk to me, you come to my place in Italy. He goes, I live in Naples. You can come visit me over there, but I am not talking about anything that's illegal in the United States. So I was like, okay. Louis obviously had some experience with the law, so he knows best. So Louis said, you want to visit me, come to Naples. So guess what I did? I bought that ticket to go to Naples because I was determined. Remember, $1 million a day, Mark. $1 million a day. That was in my head.
You're trying to make $1 million a day in Australia.
So I sit down with Louis. I said, Louis, I got
that's
a
the
situation
mission right now. $1 million a day in Australia. That's the mission.
Here, I don't know if you're involved in this game. And if you're not, just tell me now because I got to go find someone. He goes, what do you got, cousin? Italians always say cousin. He called me nephew, excuse me. He goes, what do you got, nephew? I said, this is what I got, Louis. I said, I got a ton of cocaine in Australia right now. He goes, you're out of your mind. There's no fucking way you got any cocaine in Australia. That's the hardest place in the world to get it to. He says, I don't believe it. I said, I'm telling you, I have a client that is VIP, top notch. He is the head honcho of this infamous cartel. I said, he told me he's got it over there and it's waiting to be moved. He goes, there's no way.
Like, this is real movie shit. Like, imagine if it just wasn't there. Imagine if he just didn't have it. Imagine if he went all the way to Australia and somebody got locked up and it just went left. Everything in this dude's life that's led to another. This person. Oh, let me call this dude. Let me call Uncle Louis. Louis is in a weed game and he ends up coming to Australia. He got connection to Australia to move to. It gets crazy.
He doesn't believe me. I said, Uncle Louis, what do I got to do to show you? He says, well, we'll fly over there, but I want you to fly over there first and tell me when you get there that it's there because I'm not going to waste my time. He says, if you do have what you say you have, you're going to become a millionaire overnight. And he said it. And I was like, oh, that's two people that have said I'm going to become a millionaire overnight.
He was not giving up now. He's not giving up now. Two people said you could be a millionaire overnight. Oh, let's get this money.
I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to become a millionaire. Like, I'm so excited now.
So Uncle Louis hooks him up, obviously. We're going to skip forward a little bit. Uncle Louis is an Italian dude in a weed game, but he obviously is an old Italian mob gangster that knows international routes, clients, can pick up coke, all this shit. Australia is the hardest place to get coke in, so he's looking at him like, what the fuck? Like, we about to run this shit up. So he starts running it up in Australia, right?
And I said, Uncle Louie's asking, when's the next one? He says, tomorrow. So we did 20 the next day, 20 the third day, 20 the fourth day. I have so much fucking money, I don't know what to do. And this is how this thing began.
And you have the money in what form?
In cash, Australian currency.
And what is that?
Duffel bags, suitcases and suitcases and suitcases of money. He has so much money in his Australian, wherever he was living at, in his dishwasher, cabinets, millions of dollars. Closet, suitcases, millions of dollars, hundreds and fifties. Dishwashers, everywhere, in his bathroom, everywhere. He had nowhere to put it. And now the cartel is like, I got another mission for you. I need you to bring it back to the U.S. I need you to bring this cash back to the U.S. Millions and millions of dollars. You know how hard that is? So he has to figure out another way yet again how to figure some shit out and to get Australian millions of dollars into the U.S. Obviously, the first step would be convert the money, but it gets crazy.
Look like
this is where shit goes left.
Cases or
suitcases? I mean, they're $100 bills, $100 bills and $50 bills. Their color, the money is green, bright green, and it's like plastic.
And what are you going to do with that? You can't just get on a plane and fly home.
That's why El Jefe hired me. And remember, El Jefe didn't tell me that I had to get it back to the U.S. I'm thinking I'm just handling the cash. El Jefe's got somebody over there. He's going to take it, and what is he going to do? He's going to do his thing. But that's why El Jefe paid me what he paid me, because El Jefe wanted me now to take that cash and get it back to the U.S. And that's why I'm getting paid $1 million a day.
Damn.
Because now I have a product that's costing El Jefe probably $3,000 a kilo. And he's making $50,000. But now he wants me to launder it back to the U.S. So I'm sitting on close to $10 million. I got some of Louie's money.
Next mission, launder money back to the U.S.
I got El Jefe's money, I got my money, and I'm sitting in the studio looking at myself going, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? I opened my dishwasher, millions of dollars. I opened my covers, millions of dollars.
Everywhere.
I go in my closet, suitcases full of money. I don't think you realize how many suitcases it takes when you have $50 bills.
This is in what city?
Sydney, Australia.
You still
I'm still in Sydney.
How are you going to leave Sydney?
I'm not going to leave. I'm going to sleep on that money every day I can until I get it out of there.
So what's he do to get out of there? He meets the dude that ends up snitching on him. His name is Robin Hood. He was a gambler, the high-profile nigga, the nigga I talked about in the beginning of the video. He's a high-profile gambler. He was famous for winning big bets and then giving away his winnings. So he would win a big bet and give it away to a family in need, a charity, family that just lost their home. He was like on the news and like he was big for that. So he already had a legitimate business, a legitimate website. So it was an easy front and he was a high roller. So you know where I'm going with this. So what do? Him, Owen, O-Dog, Bet O-Dog, has all this money. He's trying to launder the money back to the U.S. So what does he do? He gives the gambler, the dude Robin Hood, $1.5 million. Gives him $1.5 million to gamble with. Yo, I need you to take this money, bring it to the casino, turn it into chips, gamble with for a little bit, get up out of there. Simple. And they're not going to raise no red flags. They're not going to raise no eyebrows. Why? Because he's already a high limit wager gambler. He already bet big money. So you're not going to think twice. So that was smart as shit. So boom. He gambles for a little bit. He get up out of there, right? He get up out of there. And how does he get the money back? When you're in Australia, you can just, there's sister casinos in Vegas, Cali, whatever, in the United States, you can go cash your money. So he gets a check in Australia, flies back to the States, cashes the check, The money's now laundered. He successfully laundered 1.5. So you obviously think, let's do it again, right? And that's where shit get.
Can't leave. That's where I made the worst decision of my life.
That's where he met the
I
rat.
hired this gambler. He was a professional blackjack player. A girlfriend of mine introduced me to him, and she said, this guy is a professional gambler. Don't worry. He's a high roller in Vegas. I know him through the Vegas casino network. He's huge, big. Everywhere he goes, he's got that red carpet rolled out, and he's the man.
Now, when you watch the doc, anybody comment who's watched the doc? Because, like, when I watched the doc, I didn't like this dude. I like Owen way more. I could be wrong. We don't know these people, but just based off of the Robin Hood dude, the gambler dude, he just seemed like a real cocky prick slime ball. Owen is a go-getter. Yeah, he might threaten you. Yeah, he might. He just a boss-ass nigga. Period. And he wanted to do business. And Robin Hood did some nut shit. He lost the money. They did it again to launder more money, and he gambles all the money. You're a dickhead for that, bro. You're a nut for that. You deserve to die for that. I'm sorry. So I'm on Owen's side. If I'm Owen, you tripping, cuz. And if I'm Robin Hood, I'm not betting all your money.
But you got to come back to California and meet him. So what I do, I got on that 18-hour flight, and I flew to Santa Monica. I went to the Fairmont right here on Ocean Park, and I think that's Wilshire, and I met this guy named Robin Hood. And Robin Hood had his hat down, and he was covering his face, and he introduced himself, and I introduced myself as Junior, because I didn't want to tell him my real name. I'm Junior DeLuca. That was the name of my fake ID in Australia. Junior DeLuca, nice to meet you. I said, I got an offer for you. I said, my girlfriend tells me you're involved in gambling. I said, she said you probably would know how to do this, or someone that could do this. I said, I got a client in Australia that's lost a lot of money, but I need to get the money back in the U.S. I said, do you have any options? Do you have any ways to get it back? He goes, yeah, I do. I can bring it back for you.
So obviously he's not going to tell him, yeah, I got all this cartel money sitting in my apartment. I got to bring it back to the U.S. So he always has the bookie front to kind of like keep his business legit. Whatever his girlfriends he got going on, he can just tell his family. He's got the bookie shit making money as a front. He kept that legit. He kept it separate. And the doc, he says he kept it separate. The cartel shit, the money, and his bookie money. He always kept that separate. So he tells the gambler dude that, hey, I got a client that lost mad money. I got this cash. I can't bring it back. Can you help me?
Well, what would you charge? He goes, something like that. 25%, but I need a first-class ticket. I need you to get me a penthouse at the Four Seasons. He's barking all these orders. I'm like, okay, this dude's the man. I like it. Like, he knows what he's doing. He goes, what I'll do is I'll play the casino. You give me the cash. I'll go lay it on the table. I'll have my host from Vegas call, tell him I'm coming. And I'll play a few hands. I'll just tell him I'm not feeling it. I'll get the cash back. They'll put it in a check form from the casino, the Star Casino. And the Star is the sister casino of the Venetian in Vegas. He goes, I'm a high roller at the Vegas Venetian.
This is a play.
We'll take it from there. I'll have a check. And when I come back to Vegas, he says, I'll cash it out and give you the money minus my 25%. I said,
we dropping
deal.
gems on them, baby.
Like, this is...
That's movie shit. I need to see this in a script. Somebody make... The doc wasn't enough. I watched the doc last night, and now I'm watching this today. And I'm just like, damn, I need to, like, visualize this shit on a different level. This needs to be in a film. Scorsese, Tarantino, Nolan, Spike, fucking Jordan Peele. Somebody pick this shit up. This story is crazy. It has everything. It has American football, college football. It has, he was partying with Kim Kardashian, Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart. So in the beginning of the movie, it could show that shit. It could show him, a young USC student. You can show a fake Kim K, a fake Reggie Bush. Feel me? Then it has him crossing the border when he was young with the steroids at first. Then he gets in with the cartel, the bookie shit. FanDuel, draft, like there's so much shit. All this shit can be put into a crazy, crazy movie. It has everything. Football, cartel, drugs, sex, violence, hits, money on people's head, money, rich, lifestyle, private jets. This is a movie script. This is crazy.
This is going to be perfect. So that's what happened. He flew over there. I got him his Toomey luggage with $1.5 million, gave him the cash. He went to the Star Casino. He played for about 2 hours. He called me and said, hey, I'm out of here. I said, you're out of here? He goes, yeah, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'll be back in Vegas in 2 days. He goes, I'll call you when I get there. Cool. I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, let the guy do his magic, right? He's the magician, not me.
This is the real, like, Ozark, Breaking Bad. We love them shows. We need one, y'all. We need one from him. He the one. His story is crazy. I keep saying it. I don't give a fuck. We need one from him. We need a miniseries from him. The story is too tough.
He gets to Vegas. He calls me like 2 hours later. He says, I'm done. I got your money. It was like just a little under $900,000. He goes, I owe you a little more. He goes, we'll get it on the next round. I'm not thinking, who cares? He just laundered $1.5 million in less than 48 hours. I don't give two shits. We got so much more money to take care of right now. Let's keep it going. So I'm calling everyone to pick up the cash. We're getting the cash. And 2 weeks later, he calls me again. He goes, hey, that was good. Nice little payday for me. I'm glad I was able to do that. Can we do it again? Fuck yeah, we could do it again. So
obviously,
I said, get over here. He wanted the same thing. First class ticket, Virgin Australia, penthouse again. Boom. 2.5 I got waiting for you. Come on down.
So the first, they laundered 1.5 successfully. Smooth. No problems. Now, let's up it. Let's do 2.5. And that's where shit gets bad.
He comes to my place. He picks up the 2.5. He goes, I'm going to do the same thing. He says, I'm going to be in and out. I said, cool. I'm at the gym. I'm working out in Sydney now. I'm with my trainer / security guard. I get a phone call. He goes, hey, I need 300,000 more. Wait. No. He said, I've only got $300,000 left. I need some more money. I said, whoa, wait.
What? I just gave you 2.5 and it's gone? I just gave you 2.5 and you got 300,000? Huh? Nah. Get your ass over here. I'm giving my belt out. Get your ass over here. I just want to talk. All you gonna hear. Come here, nigga. What'd you do? Nah. That's fucking crazy, dog. This is where shit get bad. This is where shit go. Bro. Imagine giving somebody, all my broke niggas. He gave him $25. You give somebody $25 and they give you back $3 and said, I lost your money. No. That was my money to eat for the day. That's not even my money, twin. That's the cartel. You tripping, twin. You see, you playing around. Let me check your pockets. What's up with you, dog? You can't be losing that money. That wasn't the agreement. I would have been cool with you giving me back $20, $18, something to eat for the day. $3 though? $3 though? Really, nigga?
Wait a minute. You just got 2.5 million 3 hours ago. He goes, I lost it. He says, I need a little more money so I can make it back.
Hell no.
Some more money. I said, holy shit, fuck no, you ain't getting no more money. I said, you need to stop right there. I said, we have an agreement. You had 2.5 million. You were taking 25% as a commission. 75% of that, I don't care if you lose it all, throw it away, shit on it, whatever you do with it, that's your 25%. But the other 75% is mine. You and I had an agreement, a business handshake. He says, mate, he says, no, I need more money. I'm like, you're not getting more money. I said, and actually, stay where you're at because I'm going to come see if this is legit.
Word up.
So I tell my trainer / security guard.
So keep this in mind, y'all. Keep this in mind. Owen works for the cartel. This nigga works for the cartel. So if you give somebody 2.5 and they lose it, you just lost 2.5 of the cartel's money. So he lost 2.5 of the cartel's money. And shit just starts spiraling from there. He was up here. He's at the top of the mountain. This is the part of the story where it goes.
And his name's Sean Carolyn. He's involved. He's in the book, so I could tell the name. But he says, "There's no way. Let's just. I got a buddy at the Star Casino. He's a pit boss. Let's go talk to him. Let's just see if he really lost it." So we put on these 3-piece suits, and we're on the gear, and we're pissed. We look like a couple mob bosses. We're like, we're gonna go collect this money. And this trainer's all tatted back, tattoos on his neck. He looks like a pit bull.
And we get there, he that nigga, bro. He that nigga. He would any means necessary. I'm figuring this shit out. What? This is like a real man's man. Like, this is like the real like American. This is like the real like Scarface ass. Like in the gym. Fucking mad bitches, just snorting coke, private jets, drinking, hitting all beautiful women from all across the world. This is like some Andrew Tate shit. Like, this is just like GTA shit. Driving crazy cars. I want it.
Sit down at the table at the cafe and we say, "Hey, you're staying right here. Sean Carolyn's going to go check and see if you really lost that money. And we got to figure out a way because you got to pay this back." So Sean went and he checked the pit boss. The pit boss is like, "Yeah, mate, he lost it. He looks like he played 4 hands. He's playing about 90,000 a hand. He's losing every hand here. Yep, I'm looking at the tape. Yep, he really lost the money." So Sean comes back. He whispers in my ear. He says he lost it. I said, "Oh my God." So now I'm thinking, I had just lost $2.5 million of the cartel's money.
I just said 2.5 mil of the cartel's money, bro. Are y'all running? Are y'all gonna figure it out? What y'all doing? Are y'all running or y'all figuring it out? I might just say fuck it and just keep it a buck because they're gonna kill me anyway. So I might as well tell them because I'd rather just tell them and get tortured and get my life over with versus living in fear and trying to hide from these niggas. Word up. That's living more scary to me. Living in fear every single day. Nah, just face that shit. Hey, pack me up. I lost y'all bread, my fault. And that might save your ass at the end of the day if you just keep it a buck. If you run for a week, if you don't answer for 3 days and then change your mind. No. I want to see you now. But if you honest from the rip, you might be able to get out of that. And he did.
And you're telling me that you want more money to make it back? I'm like, there's no way I'm not. He goes, "I got 300,000 left." He goes, "It's at the hotel." He says, "But I need more money to make money." He goes,
We're not trying to hear that. So he begging him to make more money, all this shit, right? So guess what happens after this?
"I'm going to call you in an hour. I'm going to give you a hotel room that Sean's staying at. And you're going to bring the 300 and you're going to bring your passport. Because you're not leaving this country until we figure out a way."
What is the feeling in your stomach?
The feeling in my stomach, my heart dropped. Because I'm thinking to myself, like, everything that we're doing right now with El Jefe is to get the money back. It's my job to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to protect his money and get it back.
The way he's telling this story, like, he feels like he's still in this shit. Like, he looks coked up. He's like real hype, but fuck that. Who cares? He just seems like he's still in it. Like the way he says money and like I'm in it for a jefe. Like he feels like he still want more. He's still hungry, y'all.
Remember, he's paying me $1 million a day to protect his money, to do one thing, to hold it, protect it, and get it to the U.S. So when he told me that, my heart dropped. I'm running around Sydney, freaking out. I'm sweating profusely. I'm fucking popping Vicodin now because I'm so stressed out. I'm taking Xanax. I'm drinking wine. I'm like fucking freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? And I was just fucking scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to respond. Should I tell El Jefe? I couldn't tell him. I'm not going to tell him.
You got to tell him.
He just got his 1.5 minus the commissions.
They're gonna kill you,
he
Slime.
picked that up, so he's not going to bother me at this point. So that night, Sean and I are at my studio. I got money in there, but I want to clear some out just because I know Robinhood knows where I'm living. So I'm like, hey, Sean, you know what? I'm going to give you, I got this bag right here. It's got 700 in it.
So pay attention. He lost 2.5, right? So he's like, all right, this dude that has lost my money, we taking his passport. We try to make sure, you know what I'm saying? He's staying in the country. We on his ass until he figure out how to get this money back. We got to figure something out with that. But from now, all right, give me that 300,000. Give me that. And I got like 700 in a hotel room in a suitcase. Let's move that. So that's $1 million. Let's move that. Put it in your barn. Put it somewhere safe, Sean, which is his trainer. Go hide that and go put that somewhere. So this is where we at.
I said, it's a perfect amount. 700, the 300 he brings you, that's $1 million. So let's take that $1 million and let's throw it in your storage unit over at your house. He lives on the farm in Penrith. And I said, just throw it in Penrith, throw it in the farm, keep it safe. At least we'll have some money over there. And we'll use it for your rejuvenation center. You know, he had like a TRT center where he sold peptides and testosterone through a doctor. So I was like, well, I'll invest. Okay. Back to the hotel. I'm like, all right, cool. You got your room, 1326 at the Hilton. It's off of George Street. Go handle that. As soon as he gets there, just put the money away and get on your bike and get back to Penrith. He goes, no problem, boss. So half an hour goes by, nothing. I'm calling Sean, he's not answering. I'm like, fuck. I got robbed by my own fucking security.
That was
calling
scaring
him,
shit out, man.
nothing. I'm calling him like, fuck, what's going on? Why
Give
isn't he
somebody a
answering?
suitcase. Hold on, let me go back a little bit because I just fucked this up, I think.
Calling Sean, he's not answering. Half an hour goes by. So half an hour goes by. Handle that. As soon as he gets there, Hilton, so off of George. So I'm going to go back to the hotel, get that money and put it in the farm. So he's all right, mate. So I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'm like, all right, cool. You got your room, 1326 at the Hilton, so off of George Street. Go handle that. As soon as he gets there, just put the money away and get on your bike and get back to Penrith. He goes, no problem, boss. So
That's where shit get real.
half an hour goes by, nothing. I'm calling Sean, he's not answering. I'm like, fuck. I got robbed by my own fucking security.
Imagine you get somebody 700 bands in a suitcase. You've known him in Australia for a little bit of time. He's your trainer. He's your security guard. You tell him to take this 7 and go put it somewhere. And he's not answering. 30 minutes, 30 go by, hour go by. And you like, shit, this nigga got me, y'all.
Calling him, nothing. I'm calling him like, fuck, what's going on? Why isn't he answering my call? Did he get me too? Little did I know, when he got to the Hilton Hotel, there was 4 New South Wales police that were waiting for him. RJ, aka Robin Hood,
This is the gambler.
The New South Wales police and said that there's a man in the room of 1326 at the Hilton that has a gun.
So the Robin Hood dude is now scared of these two. He's a little bit spooked of Owen and his security dude on his ass because he lost their money. So his snitch ass, just to get them off their back, calls the hotel and said, hey, there's a guy in room 1326 with a gun. They didn't have a gun. He didn't even know they had this money either. It was just crazy timing. He just wanted to get them jammed up for a little bit to give himself some breathing room. So the police is waiting at the hotel for the trainer. And what does he have in his suitcase? They're like, oh, can we just check that suitcase? We heard there's a gun in it. There's no gun in it. What's in it?
And you guys need to go check it out. So as soon as Sean got there, they already knew who they were looking for due to the fact that everywhere in Australia there's cameras. Every corner, every casino, obviously. So they were able to tell who Sean was. They got to that bag of 700 grand and said, we think there's a gun in that bag. Can we check it? Well, guess what? There was no gun. But they opened the bag and there was 700 grand. So now I just lost $3.2 million in less than 24 hours of the cartel's money. I'm going, holy shit.
And what happens after the cartel doesn't get their money?
Cartel doesn't get their money.
They fucking torture the shit out you. They're gonna find you and kill you, your family. They're gonna do all types of shit. So he gotta tell them. Unless he go on a run and get low, change his name, do something.
God, they messaged me about a day after I land in Los Angeles. And he says, oh, Wedo, I need you to drop off some money. And this is where I got on that BlackBerry. And I said, okay, do I lie to him?
No.
Do I tell him the truth? There's no way anybody's going to believe that I lost $3.2 million of theirs through some idiot that laundered the money just successfully, less than 2 weeks ago. So I was like, okay, what's the best situation here? If I run, I'm going to get caught. This is the cartel. They're going to catch me like that. So if I lie, guess what? He's going to figure it out. There's already a police report in Australia. It's already on the front cover of the Daily News out there. I'm like, I can't lie. So
that actually makes it easier that you can kind of be like, yo, look what's going on out here. That's your only hope. I know the cartel don't really give a fuck. They'll probably shoot you on the spot if you say something dumb or look the wrong way. But at least be like, yo, look at this shit. Junior Luca, front page, Australia, American man, 700,000 missing in a suitcase, all this crazy shit on a story. Feel me? You gotta try something.
Yes, I guess I gotta tell him the truth.
You hired the wrong guy.
I hired the wrong guy, but I gotta own up to it because I'm the man that's responsible for this. It's not the gambler's fault because he didn't hire the gambler. He hired me, Owen Hanson. So what's the right thing to do? The right thing to do is take accountability and own up to your mistakes. So I said, you know what, El Jefe, I'm not gonna lie. I got to tell you something. I told him on the encrypted phone, I got to meet you in person. I said, this is something that I don't think needs to be discussed over a phone. And you got to keep in mind, I've never met this guy.
This is the end of the movie now. Like, towards the end of the movie, like, this whole time, this mysterious El Jefe dude, he's never met this dude, and he's made millions and millions and millions of dollars. Never talked to him, never heard his voice. Can you imagine that shit? Your boss, you've never seen him, talked to him, heard of him, but y'all getting that chicken together.
Dropping gems on him, baby.
That's crazy. And now you lost his money, and now you got to meet him. And you don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. You thinking you're gonna die.
And he says, meet me tomorrow. I'm gonna fly in. He says, meet me tomorrow. I'm gonna have my sicarios pick you up at the McDonald's. When you cross the bridge in Tijuana, there's a McDonald's. He says, right over the bridge, there'll be a McDonald's. 1 o'clock, be there, be square. I was like, oh boy. I said, Mark, this is it. I'm out, I'm gone, I'm dead. Guns, boom, boom, I'm dead. Parents aren't gonna know. I remember I was dating a girl, I wrote a little note, put it in the sock drawer just to let her know. I'm going to Tijuana. If you don't hear from me, this is where I'm at.
Crazy, bro.
And that day, I thought I was a dead man. I thought this is where I'm gonna just get tortured. That's what the cartel's famous for, a little torture, a little slice of the neck.
You had to drive down to San Diego.
I had to drive down to San Diego. I didn't drive to Tijuana. I drove to San Diego. There's a Jack in the Box, and it's right on the border. I parked in the $8 parking lot right there. Crossed that bridge, and I said to myself, this is it. I'm a dead man. I got there at 1. My encrypted phone buzzed. I read it, and he said, black SUV, bulletproof. It was a Cadillac Escalade pulled up. Window rolls down. Wedo, Entrada, come in. I come in, I open the door. The bulletproof window is very thick. You see the thick glass just very slow going up. I'm like, oh fuck, this is a bulletproof car. I get in, I sit there.
This dude is like 25, 26 at this time, bro. This is crazy.
Turn to the back. Yeah, there's 2 sicarios with AK-47s like this in the back. I'm like, oh man, this is it. They're gonna just, you know? I'm like, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? I'm just fucking shaking. I'm just nervous.
Like, he's reliving this shit right now. He is like, the way he's telling this shit is giving me goosebumps.
I'm sweating. They get on the radio. They're radioing El Jefe's drivers. And as soon as we come to the Tijuana airport, there's a private entrance to the airport, and we pull over to the side, and El Jefe has this entourage, all bulletproof vehicles. He's in a Hummer, black SUV Hummer, bulletproof.
The fact that you didn't run says a lot, though.
Yeah, I had to, because listen, if I ran, guess what? I was going to be dead.
That, but from their side of the fence.
True.
The fact that you made the effort to come down there.
That's right. And I think that's the only thing that saved me.
Definitely did.
Because anybody else would have ran. And I knew if I ran, I was going to be killed. My family was going to be killed. Everyone was going to be fucked. So I said, I got to own up to this. Everything in life I've done, I got to own up to what I've done. So I finally got there, and I remember...
Stand-up nigga. This is a real gangster.
I heard the word Puerto Nuevo, so I knew we were going to a town, because I've been to Puerto Nuevo. It's a lobster town, right? One mile past Rosarito. So I was like, okay, it was a Monday. And I'm like, we pull up. The whole town's deserted. Like, there's no one eating lobsters on Monday. You know, like...
Movie shit, bro.
I don't think anything.
Imagine a movie scene, like you pull up all black trucks. They probably make it a little extra, put a duffel bag over you. Two Mexicans in the back, AKs. You on your way to meet your boss from the cartel. You pull up Ghost Town. Meet me at this restaurant. Ghost Town. You see all the dust. You see the tumbleweed rolling through the screen, rolling across the screen. The black SUVs driving up. He walks into a empty restaurant. All Mexicans sitting at a table, empty, and he just walks in blindfolded, and they take off his blindfold, and he's sitting right in front of his cartel boss. Like, this is nuts, bro.
It's even open. So we pull up to Puerto Nuevo number 1, which is the original. Usually has a line out the door. The place is closed. I'm going, oh, fuck. We get in there. He has the restaurant blocked off just for him. He's got 3 or 4 sicarios that are already in there. He's got a table with 2 sicarios sitting down next to him. I made him introduce myself. He already knows who I am. He says, Wedo, tell me what happened. And I'm sitting down. I'm like, man, I need a drink, you know.
Word up.
He's like, you want a margarita beer? Yeah, I need a margarita. So boom, margarita comes up. I'm so fucking I said, remember the 1.5? I said, well, it was a success. The guy did it in 48 hours. You saw how quick we got the money. I said, the same guy came back to me and he wanted to do 2.5. And I figured it was going to be an easy transaction like the first one. And I went ahead and gave him 2.5. I said, not only did he lose the 2.5 gambling, but the same day my security lost 700 because the fucking gambler called the cops. And the cops came and they picked off the 700 grand. I said, if you don't believe me, I said, Google it. I said, it's all over the news right now in Australia. It was all over the news.
Telling the cartel, if you don't believe me, Google it. With all these guns and all this crazy shit next to you just sounds crazy. But I would have said the same shit. Nigga, look it up. I'm telling the truth.
The Sydney Herd, everywhere. It was front cover. 700K picked off. Businessman in America. So I'm like, it's real. Like, I'm not making this up. And I was so scared. I was like, okay, like, is he gonna believe me? Like, he's probably thinking I'm bullshitting him, right? Like, but I'm genuine. I'm talking like I'm talking to you right now. You know, it's so easy to tell the truth when it actually happened.
Right.
So I'm telling him, and I could tell he's feeling me out. He's never met me, but he's looking at me. He's checking my posture, and he can tell I'm telling the truth. I'm nervous. I'm shaking. I'm human. And he says, Wedo, you don't only owe me 3.2 million, but you owe me 4 million now. 4 million, that's with the interest.
So he threw an extra 8 on top of it. Made his week a whole lot worse. His week just got way worse. Shit, at least he's not dying though. Take that sip, at least I'm not dying. I'm good. But now I'm 4 mil. How the fuck he gonna pay that back?
And he says, now you work for me full time. And I said to myself, I'm thinking in my mind, well, at least I'm not getting killed today. Right? Got that going.
Thank God.
So I'm drinking those margaritas.
Damn.
Okay, well, at least I'm not getting killed. I got that. He says, you're going to take 2 years off. And when those 2 years are done, you're coming to work for me full time until you pay back the $4 million. I respect that.
How do they the dedication to keep tabs on somebody for so long? He could have got low in that 2 years. He could have did whatever. This is just stand up movie business. I can't even have friends to fucking go out and split a meal with me. Yo, let's go to a nice steak dinner. Let's everyone throw up 50, tip. Everyone throw up $65, $70. Have a good night. Oh, bro, I can't even do that. I can't even get friends to do that. I can't even get friends. Yo, let's go to a resort. Let's go to Jamaica for a weekend. Let's do something. Niggas just want to go to the club. And that's it. Mind you, there's a whole world out here of just organized shit just moving and shaking on time and on point. Real boss shit. Real suit and tie shit. Where is this structure? I want it. I need it. I'm inspired by it. I love this shit. I might work for the cartel next.
I owe the money. I'm going to do the right thing. I don't care what I have to do. I got to pay this man his money. For the meantime, I want you to go run your sports gambling because that's what you're good at. And you do it well. And I don't want you touching anything to do with drugs. I want you to focus on the sports betting and that's it. I don't want any money. I want you to live off that money. I'm like, all right, I got you. I'm like, okay. He says, we're going to keep in contact through an encrypted phone. Make sure you have it on you at all times. I'm like, okay, I work for the cartel now. So that day, Mark, I remember leaving Tijuana and I remember crossing that border, the same border I crossed many years as a child when I was 19 years old. And the guy asked me, are you bringing anything back? I felt like telling him, yeah, I'm bringing a fucking $4 million debt on the top of my forehead back, but I obviously didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking, yeah, I'm bringing something back.
Imagine.
So I was like, fuck, man, I gotta work for the cartel now. I didn't know what it entailed, but I knew.
And we think our problems are big.
I had 2 years, and you wouldn't believe it. That 2 year mark hit, and that phone vibrated. He says, "What?
Cartel
it's
is
time
dedicated."
To work. Oh fuck! Fuck. What's this? It was like time to work, man. I knew it. I knew it was here. So he explained it. He says, "You're not using my routes. The only thing you're going to be using is my product." He says, "I'm not giving you my contacts anymore." He says, "You have to figure out a way to get it to Australia." He says, "I'm not helping you. You're not burning my contacts because you're fuck up." Wow. I go, well, how the fuck am I going to get it to Australia? I don't know anything about logistics. I'm a fucking surfer kid from Redondo who walked onto the fucking USC football team. What the hell do I know about logistics, moving tons of cocaine into the country, of the hardest country, which they call the Isla de Oro, which is the island of gold, because it's so hard to get the product there.
So now he has to figure out how to he can't go back to Australia. Now, his next mission, get the work from the United States to Australia, the hardest country in the world to get it in. So what does he do? One night he's drinking wine, and he's like, I got it. I'm going to pour the Coke, the kilos, into the tub, get Everclear, break it down into liquid, pour it into dark wine bottles, cork them, melt the top, make them look brand new, send them to Australia. It works. It fucking works. He is the real Breaking Bad, the real Ozark, real Marty, real Heisenberg in one. He is the one. This is the most recent story we got of a real Kingpin that really did this shit and is really making shit happen, really inventing shit. Nobody has did this. He fucking broke down the keys, put it into wine bottles, shipped it to Australia, had a chemist waiting out there to put it back in a solid form, and it worked. crazy.
When you fill out the customs form, put in a demo, promo wine, Napa Valley. And I said, but you got to send it from Napa Valley. So I made him go to the exact winery where I purchased the wine from, because I purchased it at Bevmo, but I made sure he took that case. I said, you go to that winery, you write down the exact address, and whatever the closest post office, I want you to send it from there. So that's what he did. He put promo, he put the wine company.
He's a straight cokehead, bro. That's me. I'm off the rock right now.
His name is coming from there. It was during Christmas time. So many packages are coming into Australia. The bar name that's receiving the wine. And I remember messaging my mate in Australia. I said, this thing's on its way. I said, you got 2 cases, 48 bottles of wine, 10 kilos to be exact. I said, mate, I think this is gonna work. He goes, well, we'll see. I guess we'll see, you know.
Let's see.
6 days goes by and I'm tracking the package and sure enough, it says it's arrived. And I say, hey, mate, what's going on? He goes, mate, you wouldn't believe it. He said, the wine showed up. I said, you're fucking kidding me. He goes, we're about to break it down. We're gonna put it back and bring it back to the kilo form. He says, we got the chemist. I'm like, that's great. I said, I found the way in. I figured out a way to get it in. So I said, let's see if he can bring it back.
How do you find a chemist willing? The world is ran on illegal shit, bro. The world is ran on cutting corners, and because where do you find a chemist that will do some under the table shit with illegal drugs? 10 keys. Where are you finding that? That's Heisenberg.
So he brings it back. 10 kilos is 10,000 grams. It came out to 9,500 grams. So it's 95% cocaine. It's the best quality cocaine money can buy. So right then and there, I knew I figured it out. So I found my route. And that was the route that I utilized as long as I could until the FBI started to investigate me. And I didn't know that the FBI was investigating me, but I knew something was going on because that Robin Hood was harassing me, trying to get me to do things like, hey, let's launder some more money, like talking like that on the phone. You don't talk.
That's the gambler
like that.
That lost the money.
And when he said, let's launder some more money, come on, I got you, I got to pay you back that 2.5 loss for you. He's telling the details on the phone. I'm like thinking to myself, who the fuck are you saying this for, motherfucker? Like I knew something was going on. Like you don't just talk like that. You tell me that in person.
This was the guy.
This is the guy that just lost my 2.5, Robin.
He wants to do more with
you.
He
wants to help me get the money back because he feels like he's obligated. At this point.
So you think he had to work with the.
I didn't think, I know, because this is how I got busted. Yeah. So I go.
Obvious,
I said, man,
obvious rat. What? He
not
already
doing
called the cops on you once. Already called the cops once.
Anything with you, just let it be. When you want to pay $1,000 a month for the rest of your life, I don't care. Just start paying your debt, man. You would throw $1,000 in these shell corporations I had every once in a while, and I would just take it off his figure. I think he paid me like $6,000 total. But I knew something was going on because he was calling all my gambling contacts and he was harassing them. He was calling professional athletes that were my best friends. Hey, your boy O-Dog's going down. The FBI's after him. And they're calling me and telling me this. I'm like, holy shit, what is this guy doing? So I knew something was up. And I had these construction sites. I was building all these homes with my partner. And I remember I would pull up to the construction site and there's like a Verizon vehicle that was just sitting there. And I'm thinking to myself, this Verizon vehicle's been here for like 3 days. Like, what's the fuck's going on here?
More movie shit.
And I would run the license plate and I'd call my private investigator. I said, hey, is this really Verizon? He goes, that's not Verizon. He says, that's a private license plate. He says, it's going back to a P.O. box. He says, that's a cop. He says, that's the feds. He says, you're being watched. And I'm like, oh, fuck. What can I do? I still owe the cartel.
I'm running. I'm out. I'm going to live with the cartel at this point. I'm gone.
Pay them off. Their priority. FBI can come later. So I'm just working. I'm working.
He said, I still owe the cartel money. Their priority. The FBI can wait later. God damn.
What can I do? I still owe the cartel. I got to pay them off. Their priority. FBI can come later. So I'm just working. I'm selling. And finally, 2 weeks before my arrest, I finally pay off the cartel, the $4 million. And I remember El Jefe. He gave me that $1 million question. And he says, Wedo, what do you want to do? You paid me off. I said, what do I want to do? I want to get some money back in my pocket. I'm married to the game now. I feel like I owe you, not only because you let me pay off the debt, you didn't kill me, but I feel like, no, I need to get ahead. Mm-hmm. And I already knew the FBI was after me. At this point, I was just like, fuck, what do I got to lose? I gotta go out with a bang. I know it's coming. I feel it. I just felt it in my bones.
That is like a scary ass spot to be in. You know the feds is on your ass. You know the cartel want to keep working. You're like, shit, like, what do I do? Like, because this shit's never going to end. They're just going to stay on my ass. Like, am I going to sit in jail for the rest of my life? Do I dip off to Mexico? Like, what do I do? Too deep in.
I was working for the most infamous cartel in the world. I just wanted it to end, and I knew. I just had the feeling in my stomach. I pulled over to McDonald's, and I had my last Egg McMuffin for 10 years. I took that bite. I drank that orange juice, and I said to myself, maybe I should just throw the encrypted phone underneath the tire, run over it, go down to Mexico, and just go stay with El Jefe. Like, maybe that's the answer. Then I got a phone call.
I probably
and it was
did that, I ain't gonna lie.
Al Wilson, this money launderer. He says, hey, man, I'm in the clubhouse. Where you at? I said, man, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And my mind said, let's go play some golf, you know? And I pulled in there, and I remember the caddy came to my car and opened my Porsche Panamera door and said, Mr. Hanson, welcome to Aviara Country Club.
My heart is racing for him.
I said, hey, caddy, why is there no cars today? It's 7:10 in the morning and there's not anyone here playing today? He goes, I don't know, Mr. Hanson. And he was shaking. And I knew right when he started shaking that something was wrong. And as soon as I walked over to the passenger seat to pull out my man bag with my gambling money and my encrypted phones, I grabbed the bag and I turned around and I had 15 FBI agents come out of the bushes.
Damn.
With AK-47s. I had a helicopter above me and I had Al Wilson in handcuffs. And Al Wilson says, don't tell them anything. They don't got nothing on me. And I knew right there that it was a ruse. I knew that right then and there that this motherfucker had brought me down.
Damn.
And right there was the most relieving day of my life. You know, people would say, were you scared? You're going to federal prison for the rest of your life? Were you scared the cartel knows you got arrested? I said, fuck no, I wasn't scared. I was fucking happy. It's finally over.
Oh my God, bro. This shit is crazy, dog. So he ends up getting 21 years. He does 10. He's in a halfway house right now. But his story is just crazy, dog. I gotta give him that. The series on Prime is called Cocaine Quarterback. Tough ass series. I was locked in on it. Real good story. This is a movie. I love hearing people's come up stories. I love seeing how people come up in unorthodox ways. And I noticed that everyone's story, bro, it's not, yeah, I worked at McDonald's and then I did this and then I did that. It's always you got to try some different shit. You got to take risks. I'm not telling you to do some illegal shit. I'm not telling you to do the wrong thing in this world, in this life, in this country, in the United States, wherever you at. But I pay attention to everybody successful, bro. And everyone successful, they got, the common denominator is a go-getter, resilient, fearless, relentless, might cut some corners, might manipulate some people, might know how to rub shoulders, might know how to be a little fake to people, might know how to, you just know how to maneuver in this game of life and turn this shit into GTA for you. And that's a skill. So that's what I study the most watching this shit, is like the skill of like, okay, this what you do. This okay. I get it. I obviously don't want to fucking sell keys and shit, but you just take little tips, little traits. Oh, I'm gonna add this to my life. Oh, I'm gonna add that. Oh, you did that. Okay. What I took from this is, yo, ask more questions. Yo, use your connects. Yo, ask this. It won't hurt. Worst they can say is no. Yo, I got an idea. You said your cousin did this. Yo, can you connect me with him? Instead of being like, they'll probably say no. Like, just try. Just ask. So that everybody watching, you know what I'm saying? Just try. Just ask. Do whatever it takes to, whatever vision you got, whatever mission you assign for yourself, do what it takes to put it together. Like he said, life is like a puzzle. And you are the conductor. You got to figure out ways to put it together. Only you. So yeah, this is a great story. Very inspirational. Just to get off your ass. Not to be El Chapo. I'm not inspired to be El Chapo, y'all. I'm not telling nobody to sell drugs, do no illegal shit, none of that. But it's inspired to just get off your ass, to be somebody, to, you know what I'm saying, take risks and go get this shmoney, dog. It's out here. How bad you want it? So yeah, it's that. Cocaine Quarterback. Y'all make sure y'all watch that shit and DM me, comment, let me know what y'all think of that doc, because that shit fire. That shit